Hey everyone, and welcome back to Daily Dog Drop. I'm Devin.
And I'm Daisy. So glad to have you all tuning in again today.
Absolutely, Daisy. We've got a really fun episode lined up for you, especially if you're like us and, you know, constantly wondering about your furry best friend's quirky behaviors.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I know I'm always asking, like, why does she do that? Or what on earth is he thinking?
Exactly, and that's what we're diving into today. We're going to tackle, well, 10 of the most common and, frankly, intriguing questions that dog owners, new and old, often have about their canine companions.
Yeah, we're talking about everything from, why they wag their tails a certain way to what's really going on when they're, dreaming. It's going to be a good one, full of useful insights, hopefully.
Yeah, we've got some great info to share that'll help you understand your pups just a little bit better. So stick around, you won't want to miss this.
So, kicking things off, Devin, one of the most classic dog questions out there has got to be, why do dogs wag their tails? It seems so obvious, right? Like they're happy.
Right? That's what everyone thinks. And usually that's spot on. Tail wagging often means they're super excited. Happy to see you, ready for a walk, or like, oh my gosh, is that food?
Oh, yeah. My golden retriever, Luna, her whole body wags when she's excited, not just her tail. It's like a full on wiggle dance.
A full body wag. I love that. But, it's not always just about excitement. Sometimes tail wagging can also communicate uncertainty. Like if their tail is low and doing a sort of slow, tentative wag, it can actually mean they're a little unsure or, even a bit nervous. It's not just a happy signal.
Oh, that's a good point. I hadn't really thought about it that way, beyond the obvious happy wag. So, it's more nuanced than just good mood.
Exactly. It's all about context, isn't it? And speaking of expressions of affection, another big one we get asked about a lot is, why does my dog lick me? Like, I swear my dog Buster just loves to taste my skin after I've been out running.
Oh my gosh, yes, the enthusiastic licks. My dog does it too. I've always just taken it as a sign of pure love, which, a lot of the time it is. Dogs lick to show affection, like a big sloppy kiss.
Yeah, that's definitely a big part of it. But also, it can be a self soothing mechanism for them sometimes, especially if they're a bit anxious. And yeah, as you mentioned, Daisy, they actually do enjoy the taste of our skin. Like we taste salty to them, I guess. Or maybe we just have interesting smells.
Ew, but also, it makes sense though. They're exploring with their mouths. Okay, so from affectionate licks to something a little more serious, the big one. Why is chocolate bad for dogs? Everyone knows it, but like, why though?
That's such an important question, Daisy, and it's something every dog owner must know. The simple answer is that chocolate contains a substance called theobromine, which is highly toxic to dogs.
Theobromine, right, I remember hearing that word. So it's not just like a tummy ache, it's actually poisonous.
Absolutely. Unlike humans, dogs metabolize theobromine much more slowly, so it builds up to toxic levels in their system. Even a small amount, especially dark chocolate, can cause vomiting, diarrhea, tremors, seizures, and in severe cases, even death. It's really, really serious.
Wow, it's just so crucial to keep it out of reach. Like, if you drop a piece of chocolate, you've got to be on it immediately before your dog even has a chance.
100%. It's one of those things where it's always better to be overly cautious. No amount of chocolate is safe for a dog. It's a hard no.
Right. So, away from the scary stuff to something a bit more mysterious, maybe? Like, have you ever watched your dog twitching in their sleep and wondered, do dogs dream?
Oh, absolutely. Buster does that all the time. His little paws start running, his tail wags just a tiny bit, and sometimes he even makes these little muffled barks. It's like definitely something going on in there.
Yeah, Luna does the same thing. Sometimes she sounds like she's chasing something in her dream, like she's on a full on squirrel patrol.
Well, you know what? You're both right. The answer is a resounding yes. They absolutely do dream. Just like us, dogs enter REM sleep, which is that deep, restorative sleep phase where dreams typically happen. And it's especially noticeable, I think, in puppies and senior dogs.
Oh, little puppies dreaming of like their next meal or a toy, or seniors just, dreaming of a really comfy spot on the couch. That's so sweet.
Totally. It just makes you wonder what wild adventures they're having in their heads, doesn't it? Speaking of sounds dogs make, what about howling? My neighbor's dog sometimes just lets out this mournful howl, especially if a siren goes by.
Oh gosh, howling. It's so distinct, isn't it? Sometimes it's like a siren goes off and every dog in the neighborhood just like joins in. It's almost musical.
It really can be, but like, why do they do that? I always think of wolves when I hear it, you know?
Yeah, same.
Well, you're actually spot on with the wolf connection, Daisy. Howling is deeply linked to ancestral wolf traits. It's a very primal form of communication. So it can be for communication, like telling other dogs, hey, I'm over here, or this is my territory, don't forget it.
Oh, so it's like a canine telephone call or something.
Pretty much. But it can also, unfortunately, be a sign of separation anxiety if they're left alone for too long or if they're just feeling a bit anxious about something. It's their way of, expressing distress or calling out.
Oh, that's a bit sad. So it's not always just a casual chat. Sometimes it's a cry for help. It's good to know the difference.
Exactly. Always context, right? And then shifting gears a bit from sounds to smells, this is one I've always wondered about. Why do dogs have wet noses? Mine is always cold and wet, and I always thought it just meant he was healthy.
Yes, the classic wet nose. I've heard that too. Like if their nose is dry, it means they're sick, which I don't think is always true, but still.
No, it's not always an indicator of illness. A dry nose can be normal. But the reason they're wet, Daisy, is actually super cool. It significantly enhances their scent detection.
Really? How does that work? Like the moisture helps?
Think of it like this. The moisture on their nose helps to trap tiny scent particles from the air. It's almost like a sticky flypaper for smells, making it easier for them to, process those smells and get a much clearer, more detailed picture of their environment.
Whoa, so it's not just a cute boop, it's a super sniffer enhancer. That's incredible.
It really is. And beyond that, it also plays a role in helping them regulate their body temperature. It's like a tiny built-in cooling system, which is especially important because they don't sweat like we do, except through their paw pads.
Wow, so it's a super sniffer and a built-in AC unit. Dogs are just full of surprises, aren't they? So much more complex than you'd think on the surface.
They really are. And speaking of sensory things, I've always been fascinated by dog whiskers. Like, they're not just, cute little facial adornments, are they?
Oh, no, definitely not. I mean, Luna's got these really long, expressive whiskers, and I've heard they're super important, but I don't totally get why. Is it just for, like, feeling around in the dark or something?
That's part of it for sure. They're actually incredible sensory tools. Think of them like an extension of their fingertips almost. Whiskers provide really vital sensory input about their environment and any nearby objects.
So they're like little antennas, basically?
Exactly. They help them navigate, especially in low light, avoid bumping into things, and even gauge if they can fit through a narrow space. It's just another one of their superpowers, you know?
That's so cool. My mind is blown again. Dogs are just, they're amazing. Okay, shifting gears a little to a slightly less glamorous habit. What about when dogs eat grass? I see Buster doing that sometimes, and I'm always like, are you okay, buddy? Are you sick?
Yeah, that's a classic. I think every dog owner has seen their dog munching on the lawn at some point. And, it's funny. It's often a bit of a mystery, but typically it's pretty harmless.
So it's not always a sign of an upset stomach then, because that's what I always heard.
That can be one reason, yes. They might seek it out if they have, a bit of an upset tummy, and the grass can sometimes act like a natural emetic to help them, clear whatever's bothering them. But honestly, it's often just because they like the taste or they're seeking certain nutrients like fiber that might be missing from their diet.
Oh, so it's like a little green snack. That's kind of cute. As long as it's not chemically treated grass, I guess.
Absolutely. Always be mindful of what your dog is eating, of course. But generally speaking, a little grass munching isn't cause for alarm. And speaking of quirky behaviors, why on earth do dogs chase their tails?
Oh, the tail chasing. Luna does that sometimes when she's really hyped up and she just spins in circles. It looks so silly. Is it just like pure play?
A lot of the time, it absolutely is. It can be super playful, especially in puppies. It's a way for them to release energy or, just entertain themselves. But sometimes, if it's a persistent behavior, it could actually mean something else.
Oh, like what? Now I'm worried.
Well, in some cases, it can be a sign of parasites like fleas causing an itch, or less commonly, it could indicate a more serious compulsive behavior issue, almost like an obsessive compulsive disorder in dogs. So, if it's not just a casual, playful spin, it's worth checking with your vet.
Wow, so it's not always just a laugh. That's good to know. And then finally, this is one I see all the time with my friend's dog. Why do dogs bury things, like their bones or toys?
Yeah, the classic burying. It's actually a very instinctual behavior, Daisy. Think about their wild ancestors, like wolves. They would bury extra food to store it and keep it safe from scavengers for later.
So it's like a prehistoric pantry? That's amazing.
Pretty much. But for our modern dogs, it can also be a way of seeking attention, like, look at me, I'm doing something interesting, or even just a way to relieve boredom. If they've got too much energy and nothing to do, burying can be a good outlet for them.
So it's either survival instinct or just, Mom, I'm bored, play with me.
Exactly. It really just depends on the dog and the context, as with so many of these dog behaviors, right?
Exactly. It really just depends on the dog and the context, as with so many of these dog behaviors, right?
That's so true. And wow, Daisy, we've covered so much today. From why our furry friends wag their tails, to their dreams, why they howl, and even those mysterious wet noses and whiskers.
Yeah, and we also touched on why chocolate is a no go, why they sometimes munch on grass, and those sometimes silly, sometimes serious reasons they chase their tails or bury their treasures. I mean, my mind is just buzzing with all these new insights into our canine companions.
Mine too. It's always amazing to dive into the world of dogs, isn't it? Thank you so much for joining me today, Daisy, and thank you, our wonderful listeners, for tuning in to Daily Dog Drop.
Yes, a huge thanks to all of you. We really hope you enjoyed learning some new doggy dilemmas with us today.
Absolutely. And hey, if you have any burning questions about your own pups, please, we'd love to hear them. Send them our way, and we might just answer them in a future episode.
Yes, please do. And while you're at it, if you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to hit that subscribe button wherever you get your podcasts. It really helps us out.
And a quick review and a 5-star rating would be absolutely amazing too. It helps other dog lovers find us. So, from Daisy and myself, Devin, thank you again for listening.
We'll catch you next time on Daily Dog Drop.